Hollywood lied to you about fighter planes. Every single war movie you've watched got it wrong. Here's the truth. Less than 20% of aerial victories in World War II came from dramatic dogfights. The real killers? They attacked from behind, from the sun, when nobody even knew they were there. Let's shatter 5 myths that directors can't stop repeating. First myth: the P-51 Mustang was the ultimate fighter. Hollywood shows Mustangs dancing through the sky, untouchable. Reality? The P-47 Thunderbolt actually had a better survival rate. For every Thunderbolt lost to enemy action, the Mustang lost 1.4. The Thunderbolt could absorb 2,000 rounds and keep flying. One pilot landed with 2 cylinders of his engine completely shot away. The Mustang? 1 bullet through the cooling system, and you had 90 seconds before the engine seized. Second lie: the Spitfire won the Battle of Britain. Beautiful story, except the Hurricane shot down 60% of German aircraft during the battle. Not 40%, not 50, 60. The Hurricane was cheaper, easier to repair, and there were almost twice as many of them. A Hurricane could be patched up with fabric and flying again in hours. A damaged Spitfire needed metalwork that took days. But Hurricanes don't look as pretty on camera. Third myth: the Zero was invincible in 1942. Films show American pilots helpless against the nimble Zero. Here's what they don't show. American pilots figured out the Zero couldn't dive. At speeds above 350 miles per hour, the Zero's controls locked up. The ailerons literally froze. American pilots learned to dive away, and the Zero couldn't follow. By mid-1943, the kill ratio had completely reversed. But here's where it gets interesting. Fourth myth: the Messerschmitt Bf 109 was a killing machine. German propaganda claimed their pilots were scoring hundreds of victories. The truth? Overclaiming was epidemic. Analysis of actual loss records shows German claims were inflated by 300 to 500%. When both sides' records are compared, many victories never happened. The aircraft they claimed to shoot down were still flying missions the next day. Now, let's talk about the biggest lie. The Corsair was too dangerous for carrier operations. Hollywood loves showing Corsairs bouncing off carrier decks. The Navy called it the Ensign Eliminator. Except by 1944, the Corsair had the lowest landing accident rate of any Navy fighter. Lower than the Hellcat. Lower than the Wildcat. The British figured out the landing technique in 1943, but Hollywood keeps repeating the 1942 story. Here's the brutal mathematics. The average fighter pilot in World War II never shot down a single enemy aircraft. 90% of kills came from 5% of pilots. Most pilots never even saw the plane that killed them. The majority of aircraft losses weren't from combat at all. They were from mechanical failure, fuel exhaustion, and navigation errors. A captured Luftwaffe colonel said it best: "Your Hollywood makes every pilot an ace. In reality, most of us were just trying not to die." The deadliest fighter wasn't the fastest or most maneuverable. It was the one that showed up in greater numbers with better trained pilots and enough fuel to fight. The Germans had superior aircraft in 1944, but no fuel to train new pilots. Japanese Zeros in 1945 were flown by pilots with less than 50 hours of flight time. Modern war isn't a nightly duel between aces. It's an industrial machine that grinds up youth and calls the survivors heroes.